make sure you've got your little microphones on green light. We do have hundreds of members of the public online as well as that is a joke. Opening karakia. As I said, Donna is on Zoom, and we have an apology from Mike David. Can I have a mover and a seconder? Thank you, Donna. Was in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Against, there are none. Item number 1, confirmation of our last ordinary council meeting minutes, 24th of February. Recommendations there on page 5, taking as read and confirming the minutes and resolutions.
I'm happy to move.
Thank you, Susan.
Yep.
Thank you, Todd. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Against? There are none. Confirmation of emergency council meeting minutes, 4th of March, page 12. Takes as read, confirms minutes and resolutions therein. Have a mover, please. Neil, seconder, Jonathan. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Against? There are none. Got quite a few of these. Item number 3, Ops and Red Committee meeting minutes, 24th of March, page 15. Receiving and adopting. Susan, anything to...
There's no corrections I see in the minutes, and so I'm happy to move that they be accepted as a true and correct record.
Thank you very much. Seconder Lee. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye. Mr. Chair, can I ask a question, which is just about the clams? It isn't actually mentioned there, I know, but at the previous meeting, I don't see it anywhere else. So is it possible to hear any progress or anything about that?
Update on the clams. Could anybody provide?
We'll bring it to the next meeting.
Through you, Chair. So there is work going on in the background in terms of looking at different ways of potentially dealing to the clams, but all of the information that we've received so far is that there's nothing that's going to be significantly cheaper than what's already been presented. It's currently still motorised craft is still banned from operating on the lake. That will probably continue into the foreseeable future if we don't get rid of the clams. Assuming MPDC wants to continue to have the lake closed to motorised craft, it will stay as it is. If they change their minds, then MPI might step in and put the equivalent of a notice of direction, which is a CAN, which what it stands for eludes me for this moment, but basically it means that they would make a direction that motorised craft won't be allowed on the lake, and that is to obviously stop the spread of the clam going further. That's the main focus, is to prevent the spread at this stage. We're continuing with our education program, check, clean, dry, making sure people are aware of that and the importance of it, so that the clam doesn't spread to other lakes around the region.
I imagine the lake's completely full now after all this rain.
Yeah, pretty much. If we come up with some miraculous way of dealing to the clam in a cost-effective manner, then we'll certainly let you know about it.
Yeah. And nobody's had to police the no motorised craft on the lake?
No.
Donna, I see your hands up.
Yeah, 2 things. One, I have a conflict of interest for Wylandine Farms Limited and the consents and reg. And the other thing is, Dan, have we got a time frame? And there was a report being done on the economics side of things. If we don't eliminate what the economic effect is, where's that at?
Through you, Chair, I'll have to get clarification on what you're referring to there. Are you referring to the economic impact of the clam spreading?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll look into that and get back to you.
And it's not too late to.
What was, yeah, through you, Chair, what, can you clarify exactly what it is that you're after, Don?
Well, Steve Ellis, through you, Chair, Steve Ellis told us that there was an economic impact report being done at the last council meeting. And also that there was going to be looking for funding, external funding.
So, yeah, through you, Chair, so there's still work going on looking for external funding. Whether or not we'll be successful is another story, but yeah, in terms of the economic impact, I'll look into that in terms of what progress we're making with that one. Yeah.
Just to clarify, where did this originally fit? Was it policy and planning?
I think the issue was more about building on the Waikato issues and the costs for infrastructure providers like the hydro dams on the Waikato River. If this stuff takes hold in those dams, and it's just my brief understanding of it, what are the economic impacts? Now, that's not an issue on Lake Rotomanu, but if it was to spread in the other lakes across the region, would it have a direct economic impact? Unlikely, but
Thank you, Steve, that's right.
we would be relying on lessons learned out of the Waikato, where you've got the hydro operators and others more directly affected, and that prawn farm and Taupo, where business could be affected. That's where the economic impacts are going to come. They're not going to come off Lake Rotomanu.
No,
it's loss of recreational value,
yeah,
unless there's somebody operating a charter operation or a motorised drive. I'm not aware of anybody operating a commercial business off Lake Rotomanu.
Yeah, but once it spreads, then there's a real cost to about four hydros in the region?
In Taranaki?
Yeah, so there's, through your Chair, there's the Patea Dam, and then of course there's Lake Mangamahawi. So there is a potential there, but like I say, what we're doing is doing our best to stop it spreading. Of course it is in the Waikato River, and the chances of it getting eliminated from the Waikato River is probably zero. So I guess Lake Rotomanu isn't the only place that it could potentially spread from.
All right. Thanks, Donna, for bringing that back up. Could we perhaps make this an agenda item for the next ordinary meeting and get Stephen here and have an update?
Sure.
Thank you. Moving on.
Through you, Chair, just one other thing, I'd like to thank the staff for the extra detail put into the minutes from this meeting forward. It's appreciated that there's not just a straight moving and seconding. We do have a little bit of detail, a little bit about the discussion that's carried on. Okay. Thank you for that.
And others. Moving on. Policy and planning, page 19. Recommendations there. We are receiving and adopting.
Fine perspective, Mr. Chair. Happy to move. No changes.
Thank you. Second that.
Yes.
Thanks, Jonathan. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
No further discussion there. Moving on, item number 5, Audit and Risk Committee meeting minutes, 31st of March, page 24, receiving and adopting. Tom?
No, it's all good, Chair, and I'll move, but the accommodation update, I just see most of you over there later on, so see it firsthand, so it's going ahead very, very well at this stage. So
Good.
see you later.
Thank you. It's just in case you're not aware, we're going to have a walkthrough at the conclusion of the meeting.
Just another question, if I might ask it, is we've got this fuel crisis at the present time, and we do use a lot of diesel and so forth. Could I ask Mr. Neil perhaps if this is going to be something that's going to upset our budgets, how he feels about that?
Through you, Chair, there are two issues in relation to the current fuel issues. The first is a supply issue, which the government's managing, and at this stage we're at phase 1 of their planning, and we remain in phase 1, which is identifying where issues might exist and putting plans in place should we need to move up into a higher phase at some point in time. In terms of the impact of The second issue is price, of course, which is far more immediate on us, and indeed the increases for both petrol and diesel are impacting us. Yes, they are impacting our budgets, but the amounts involved are not material, and certainly would not have a noticeable adverse impact on our bottom line. At the end of the day, we're a $50 million turnover budget. We're dealing with costs around the edges. Having said that, we wouldn't want to see those. We wouldn't have to budget those increases in permanently.
Okay. Civil defence and emergency management.
I don't think, Chair, just a point, I don't think you've got a seconder for that. I move.
A second, thank you. Okay, sorry, Alan, for those in favour, please aye. Yes, there are none. Civil defence recommendations on page 31. Receiving unconfirmed minutes. That looks correct to me.
Oh, second, Chair.
Your second, thanks, Tom. All those in favour, please aye.
Aye.
Against? No. Okay, item number 7, receipt of passenger transport joint committee meeting minute, page 36. Is that okay to everybody? Susan, would you like to move?
Sure.
Thank you. Second. Anita, all those in favour, please aye.
Aye.
Against, and we're still going. Regional Transport Joint Committee, page 41. Alan? How does that look?
Good.
Would you like to move it?
Good to get the first meeting under our belt for the triennium. There was nothing, I think, came up apart from a few submissions that had been made and what had happened with those, and it's all in the minutes of what's happened there. So no, business as usual, just happy to answer any questions if there are any.
Since I was there, Chair, I'll second.
Thank you. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against, there are none. Okay, item number 9. RM Reform Spatial Planning Steering Group Establishment. Page 47, a bunch of recommendations in there. Dunbar, welcome to the table.
Through you, Chair, I'll take the paper as read, but I'll just highlight a few key points. So the purpose of this memo is to get the ball rolling and establish a steering group who's amongst the 4 councils, whose job will be to provide guidance as we develop the process agreement for the spatial plan. So that process agreement is a document that will have to set out how the 4 councils will work together, the operational provisions, how we'll engage with the community, how we'll work with iwi, the kind of key issues for the region. So it's a really important document. So the steering group will help us develop that, and then once the bills have passed, the intent is that the process agreement will then go formally through all 4 councils for agreement, and that process agreement will also be probably, pending details and us working through all of that, will most likely also include the terms of reference for establishing the formal Regional Spatial Plan Committee, which is the formal governance body responsible for oversight of the spatial plan development. And I would just also note there is a placeholder in there, but it's since been confirmed that TRC will act as the secretariat for that steering group, so coordinating calendars and papers and presentations and things like that. But I'll leave it there, happy to take any questions.
Does everybody understand what it is and why we're setting it up? I get you're all nodding and you do, which is great. I just had a few comments there. Because a plan development matter sits squarely within the remit of policy and planning, it makes sense to me that our representation comes from that committee. And I think we should, my recommendation is that we appoint the chair and deputy chair of the policy and planning meeting, which ensures strong representation from us and an effective link back to that committee. And in case you needed more persuasion, both Bonita and Jonathan would be an advantage to that steering group with broad local and central government experience, strong relationships with Mount Whenua, understanding of Taranaki's energy sector. All of these matters are crucial to the successful delivery of the spatial plan. So they are my recommended nominees. Are there any others, or is there any discussion? Would you both be happy to do that? Yep. Stepping up. Okay, the recommendations are there on page 47 and 48, A through to G, and we've got the two recommended appointments there. I will move that all those recommendations.
Second, Chair.
Thank you, Tom. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Yes. There are none. Moving on to item number 10, administrative charges. Amy, would you like to come forward? Thank you. Page 54.
Thank you, Chair. Purpose of this memo is to enable the fixing of the 26-27 administrative charges. So further to your 24th of February meeting where you moved to adopt the annual plan without any further consultation, given it's materially in line with the long-term plan. This is a separate consultation procedure that does need to happen for those charges. So we have outlined what we are proposing, and the consultation period being that of a month live from the website, with the council hearing any feedback on the 19th of May. Happy to take any questions. There's largely nothing structurally new. We have had a legal review of it this year as well.
Thank you, Amy. Donna.
Just what is the percentage change?
Through you, Chair, so the charge out rates have been increased by 5%.
And what's inflation?
And largely deriving, I can't think of the inflation figure off the top of my head, but largely deriving that increase was the increase in the staff rates. So the last 2 years we have increased the charge out rates 10%. This year we were able to only do that by 5%. So, yeah.
Any other questions?
Obviously charge out rates are lifted a little bit. Are we looking at how that can be done more efficiently? No doubt that's an ongoing thing. And to make sure that those costs, hourly rates are hourly rates, but are we keeping those costs relevant to the businesses and people impacted?
Through you, Chair, my colleague beside me, Abby, and the team spend a lot of time working with consent holders to look at those compliance monitoring programs, which are the big ticket items in that schedule of charges, on an annual basis. So there's, at the completion of each monitoring program, there's a debrief done to understand what needs to change for the next years. So where someone's performing really well and there's the risk drops down, you do less work with them in the future, and conversely, if someone's performance is poor or dropped away, then we'd spend more time and they end up paying more. But it's reviewed annually.
Brilliant.
And through you, Chair, the legal basis of these charges, they have to be actual and reasonable.
Yeah.
So we're endeavouring always to meet that legal principle.
Okay, thank you, Amy. After that's all, we have the recommendations there on page 54A through to F. Lee, happy to move? Q, stand up.
Yep.
So, all those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Against? Yeah, no. Okay, we are now moving into public excluded in accordance with section 48.1 of Local Government Information and Meetings Act 1987. The resolution is